Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to be rounding. Rounding is very similar to estimating. Estimating and rounding is finding an approximate value for the number. So finding the closest number to the actual whole number that we're looking for. Today we are rounding to the nearest 10. Here is our rounding mountain. When we round, numbers that end in 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we are going to round down, okay? When we get to the ending numbers in the ones place of 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we are going to round up. So when we are rounding to the nearest 10, we are concerned with the ones place. The ones place. Remember, this is our tens place, and this is our ones place. Okay, so we have the number 54. And the number 54, when I look in the ones place, it is a 4. If I go back to my rounding mountain, a 4 tells me to round down. So 54 comes between the numbers of 50 and 60. Because I am rounding down, it's going to be rounded closer to 50. In the number 67, if I look on my rounding mountain, 67 says to round up. 67 comes between the numbers 60 and 70. So if I were rounding 67 up, it would be to 70. If we look at the number 71, the 1 in the ones place tells me that we're going to round down. When I look at the rounding mountain, 1 is going down. So 71 is between 70 and 80. So if I'm rounding this down, the closest number I'm rounding it to is going to be 70. If I have 85, the 5 tells me to round up on the rounding mountain. 85 comes between the tens, 80 and 90. So if I am rounding up, 85 is going to be rounded to 90. So say I have the number 34. I put 34. Again, when I'm rounding to the nearest 10, I am mostly concerned with the number that is in the ones place. So the first thing I ask myself is, what two tens come between 34? That's going to be 30 and 40. So I have the number 30 and 40. My midpoint is the number in between 30 and 40 is going to be 35. 35 is my midpoint. That is the point halfway between the two tens. Then I'm going to plot my number 34. Once I plot my number 34, I can visibly see that 34 is much closer to 30 than it is to 40. So I'm going to then draw my arrow to 30. So 34 rounded to the nearest 10 is 30. Now look at the number 76. Again, we are only concerned with the number that's in the ones place because we are rounding to the nearest 10. The number in the ones place is 6. I'm going to then ask myself, which two tens does 76 come between? That's going to be 70 and 80. I'm then going to put my numbers on the number line. Again, the first thing I'm going to look for is the midpoint. 75 is going to be the number that is in between. So 75 then becomes my midpoint. Then I am going to plot the number 76 on the number line. You can visibly see that 76 is closer to 80. So I'm going to put my arrow to 80. So if I round 76 to the nearest 10, it is going to be 80.